Hello, everybody. Welcome to Jared Christmas's Crash Course. And today's session is making sushi. And I have got no idea how to do it. All I know is I like eating it. So I've got Ben from Somerset Foodie talking me through everything. Hi, Ben.
Hey Jared, how's it going?
Pretty good. I'm excited.
Brilliant. Well, it's great that we're doing this, in the evening. We're kind of relaxed, we're chilled,
Having a drink.
having a little drink. This is the way cooking should be.
Yeah,
Okay.
relaxed and not stressful like Gordon Ramsay.
Exactly. So yeah, it's great that we've hooked up. If people don't know about Somerset Foodie, I'm a fairly new business. I'm a kind of product of lockdown. I used to supply hotels, restaurants, hospitality, and a little bit like we're kind of that whole industry's massively under pressure.
Yeah.
So I just had to refocus what I do and try and kind of look at supplying, just people's homes and trying to inspire the general public to do a little bit more adventurous cooking, and people that are sort of stuck in a rut maybe who.
Yeah, and that's what I'm excited about this because I've got my staple dishes that I can do, right? A little bit of chili con carne, basically anything you can just chuck in one pot and cross your fingers is my style. So I'm excited to broaden my horizons.
Well, I think a lot of people, cooking is confidence, and the more you do it, the more confident you become, and the more you're up for different challenges, really. So, but it always helps to have somebody who can just mentor you a little bit, show you a few things. So it's great. We're going to have a little go at doing some sushi.
I'm excited. You're like Yoda, but it looks like you use better moisturizer.
We should probably just say what we've got in terms
Yep.
of kit-wise.
And this is the kit that you send out, correct?
Exactly, yes. So we've put together a little sushi kit, which gives you the key things that really you need. So we've got the sushi rice.
Sushi rice.
You can't have, the seaweed sheets.
Seaweed sheets. Do not put them on your bed. Unless you're sleeping in the seabed.
And then a little bit of rice wine vinegar that you need is the all important. You've got a slightly different one because that went slightly wrong.
Mate, I get it all the time.
Yeah. And then the all important pickled ginger.
Come on, ginger.
And a little bit of wasabi.
I've got wasabi. Doing.
Yeah, and then really we've just gone for a really straightforward filling. So sushi can be quite overwhelming when you start talking about raw fish.
Yes.
And particularly when you're sort of starting out on your sushi journey, it's probably easier just to go with smoked fish or fish that you just don't have any worries or concerns about, and you still get that lovely kind of sushi eating experience, but without having to kind of the concerns of everything. But if you did want
puffer fish, are we?
Well, yeah, it's going to be a struggle getting really exotics here, but you can easily use fresh tuna or fresh mackerel. But you can put
these bad boys from M&S.
Yeah,
love it.
No problem with that at all. And then if you wanted to kind of really go off piste, you've got duck. You could have hoisin duck. You could have teriyaki chicken.
I'll keep talking. What else could I have? Could I have pulled pork?
Oh, mate, with barbecue sauce.
Yes, please. Fusion. I'm sure a traditional Japanese restaurant would throw us out, but yeah, I'm keen to get cracking. Should we get started?
Yeah, let's go for it. So what we should do first of all is just prep a few of the ingredients that we've got. Yep. So we're going with this kind of bit of a semi-70s kind of smoked salmon, avocado and prawn kind of thing. So we need to get the avocado prepped up. So I'm going for a slice straight North Pole to South Pole.
I like it, mate.
You've got your kind of sharp knife going on.
Yeah, I sharpened it today.
Lovely.
Went outside and scraped it on some rocks.
Right, then I've got a little bit of smoked salmon here.
Yes, you do.
So this is just kind of, it'll be gnarly shapes and nothing particularly kind of even. But if you just lay it down and just slice it into sort of little strips that you get that are sort of like that.
Yeah, so I'm going to lay my salmon down.
And then again, there's no real kind of right or wrong. This is gonna kind of form the little kind of filling inside. And these are what we're actually making. There's lots of different types of sushi. There's California rolls and all sorts of kind of different types of sushi, but we're essentially making what are known as maki rolls.
Maki rolls, come on.
Yeah. So this is where the seaweed is just on the outside. You have everything on the inner.
And of course, maki is Japanese for standard but good.
I'll take your word for that.
I just made it up, mate.
Yeah, I feel I should have had an answer for that, but I don't. Some little prawns. I'm going to just slice these prawns sort of lengthways, just to make them
lengthways.
Just to make them a little bit easier. So you should end up with, something.
Are yours not curved?
They are a bit curved, but
lengthways. Are you doing an adventure with your knife, like going around a bend?
Well, no, you just hold them like that.
What, you're pulling your prawn straight?
Yeah, hold your prawn straight down through it.
Looks so good when you do it.
Because there are some bits of you can make sushi and just have that little strip of prawn on the top.
Yeah.
But it's, again, if you make a bit of a hash of this,
yeah,
you're not ruining the flavour and the eating experience.
No.
So
it's all going in a roll, isn't it?
It's all going in a roll, and then eventually it's going in your mouth. So
best place for it.
What we haven't told the viewers yet is that, beforehand we cooked our rice.
Yeah.
And we should really sort of talk about the rice cooking a bit, I suppose.
Yes, because I found it stressful. It really triggered my anxieties. Rice should be simple, but it's really not.
No, well, it's the only bit of this whole thing that can potentially go tits. But I suppose the secret really is be a little bit brave, be a little bit bold. You look at the amount of water that you're cooking in and you go, that's all wrong, but you need minimum amounts of water, and you just have to cook it so that water disappears and the rice is tender, and that's it really.
Okay. You make it sound so simple, mate, but I always get shit stuck on the pan.
Well, washing the rice first, lots of changing of water, soak it a little bit, because although sushi rice will be sticky, washing it just takes a bit of that stickiness away, so it makes it a little bit more workable than...
It's like Spider-Man made this rice. I have made what we call in New Zealand shitloads.
You have definitely made shitloads. To make sushi rice sort of taste like sushi rice, you cook the rice, we all cook the rice, and then all the water absorbed, and then we made a little seasoning with some rice wine vinegar, some sugar, and some salt.
I like it.
So
I've had to stop myself from just eating the rice.
Well,
mate, it's good seasoning.
Yeah, so it's that sort of, it's that sugar, vinegar kind of, it's all those sort of umami things that happen in Japanese cuisine that are little secrets that we never knew. Us sort of Western plebs really had no idea about umami until...
Yeah. And I never would have put sugar and salt together. Thank you, Japan. Thank you.
So we've got our rice ready to go. This has then had a little damp cloth over it, and it's cooled down, so it's ready to rock. So really, we can start the assembling process.
Oh, come on.
So everyone will have
sorry,
a little sushi mat.
It's the blinds, mate. I'll just open the blinds. Oh, it's a beautiful day.
So sushi mat on the table, and then let's grab a sheet of our seaweed. So it's sort of reasonably fragile, this seaweed.
Like my mental health through lockdown.
There we go. Miraculously.
You didn't know how to react to that, did you? I'm being serious and whether this is going to turn into a therapy session.
Okay. So miraculously, the sheet of seaweed should fit neatly on your mat.
Yep.
The other little bit of kit that we need to have with us now, because the sushi rice is quite sticky, the thing to do to make life less sticky is have a little bowl of water.
Yep.
With a little drizzle of rice wine vinegar in it, just to make a little bit, and that just helps when you're making. It just means that less things stick to your hands, and you don't end up in this kind of horrible mess of
right.
rice all over your
for
fingers.
guys who are at home by themselves, really, isn't it?
So wet your hands.
Doing it.
And then we're just going to get into the rice, and we're just going to put. Now, we can be fairly kind of rough about where the rice goes.
Yeah.
But what you want is you're going to have a front edge along here, which we're going to keep clear. We're going to start laying in. We'll start with a smoked salmon. Now, with the filling, it's going to come in. Sort of, we've got this little gap of seaweed here, and then we want to have a little gap of rice before we start putting the filling in. So we're ready.
Yeah.
We're ready for the roll.
Here we go.
So this is where the mat comes in real handy, because without the mat, it's virtually impossible.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of kind of try this little line of rice at the front here. I'm going to sort of imagine I'm going to try and flip it over on top of the filling here.
Okay.
By using the mat. But what you tend to have to do is just use your fingers to kind of hold things in place. And my prawn has. There we go. But then what you do, can you see here? How's that working? So you just use the mat now.
Oh yes. Just
to squeeze it up a little bit.
Yeah.
So it becomes nice and tight, because you don't want a flaccid roll.
No, everyone needs a tight roll, mate.
Yeah, mate. So so once you've got that nicely, you should see that kind of like that. So you've got just about the filling. Yeah, that's looking good. Looking good.
Oh.
And then just go for another roll over using the mat, just to flip it over. Yeah.
Can I tighten it as well?
You can tighten it a little bit more. Pull the whole thing. If I do it left-handed, everyone can see that a bit better. Yeah. Now, this point here, we've got. This is why we leave the bit of seaweed on the exposed here.
Yes.
Because what we're going to do with a little bit of clean water, and I haven't got my clean water.
Separate bowl. I followed the instructions.
Well, I can do this quite quickly.
While he's away, I'm going to lick mine like an envelope.
Right, so we just used a little bit of this water just to moisten up the a little bit, like, rolling up.
Am I right using my finger?
Yeah, just use your finger.
Thank you.
Just wet that end, not too much. And then basically we can just finish using the mat. Just finish rolling that over.
I think it looks all right, mate.
It does. I mean, for you to be able to pick that up like that, that means you've got a real good, proper tight roll.
You should see me roll joints.
Yeah. Well, you're going to stick a roach in the end next.
I do not endorse the taking of drugs.
So to make it easier to slice your sushi roll, you want a bit of a wet knife.
Right.
It wants to be nice and clean and a little bit damp. It just makes them, again, it's like the wet fingers. It stops everything sticking.
Okay. By the way, I've got a pug, and she's asleep, and she's snoring. So if you're hearing snoring, it's not me finding you boring, mate. It's my dog.
Okay, right. So wet knife.
Wet knife.
And then we're just going for a slice. Now, slicing, it's you let the knife do the work.
Okay.
Don't sort of push down. So it's a good old sawing motion. You've got here.
Oh, mate, nice.
A beautiful piece of sushi.
Here's mine. Et voila. Do you want to
Look
get?
at that.
Do you want to get them? Let the people see.
That's a corker.
Look at that. There's my two eyes, my nose, and my smiley sushi face.
Brilliant.
I'll be honest. I thought mine was looking good, and then I looked at yours. You bloody nailed that. Of course you have.
Well, it's it's all about the eating, isn't it? Really.
Of course it is.
So should we dive in?
I would love to, mate. I'm going to. What do I need?
So my technique is a little bit of soy first, a little smear of the wasabi, and then a little bit of the ginger on top.
Supposedly that's what happened on Spice Girls tours. Little ginger on top. In it goes. I put too much wasabi. Oh, that is good stuff, mate. Thank you so much.
Well, it's a joy, really.
Yeah.
It's great kind of doing these things and doing something different over Zoom, rather than just bloody quizzes.
And hopefully, everybody's seen actually just how doable this is. Once you get that rice thing done, that's the more labor-intensive thing. Soaking it for 20 minutes. It takes roughly 20 minutes to cook, and then let it stand. That's time-consuming. But once you've got your rice going, this is really calming and enjoyable process making it, and then the end result is bloody 2 thumbs up from me.
Brilliant. Well, and it's great if you've got kids as well, because you can get the kids involved.
Yep.
They're going to have little opinions as to what fillings they like. You can make these into vegetarian.
But Ben, tell us where people can check out what you deliver.
So everything's available on our website, somersetfoodie.com. We're based in Road, where you are.
Nice.
So people can either click and collect, or we deliver to the local kind of town. So Bath, Frome, Norton St Philip, Beckington, villages in between. Mm-hmm. But it's also available, via mail order. So all of these ingredients we can happily mail order to anywhere in the UK. So,
and anybody in any other part of the country who just heard Ben say bathroom, he was actually saying Bath Frome. There's a Frome, but if you run those two together, it sounds like he delivers sushi to
the bathroom,
which would be the height of luxury. You better wear a mask. I'll do my dregs. Cheers, mate.
Cheers.
Down the hatch. Just to finish off, I feel like I need to give you a gift, and I'm going to give you the gift of a Japanese folk song.
Should I be sitting down?
No, it's very energetic, so I don't think you'd be able to sit down for this. Okay, here we go. Rondabashi ochita, 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 rondabashi ochita, rondonbashi. It's just pulling down in Japanese. Yours,
brilliant.
Mate. Yours. The world's.